8-year-old girl expelled from Christian school for girl crush in Oklahoma. While on the playground at Rejoice Christian School, Chloe expressed her feelings for a fellow female classmate. Soon, Chloe was escorted to the office. The vice principal called her in for a meeting to lecture her about Christianity's extreme views on same sex relationships. When the vice principal was finished lecturing Chloe, he called Shelton, that's her mother, and asked her to pick her daughter up from school. Shelton recalls the vice principal how the vice principal asked how she views girls liking girls. The school official looked shocked and appalled when Chloe's mother replied, "If we're being honest, I think it's okay." The following day, Shelton received a phone call informing her that Chloe and her 5-year-old brother were no longer welcome as students. According to CNN, Rejoice Christian School's handbook states that, quote, any form of sexual immorality goes against its beliefs, which includes professing to be homosexual or bisexual.
First of all, she's 8 years old, okay? There's no sexual stuff going on. She just likes another girl. They're sexualizing it. She's not. And I feel really sorry for this little girl because it says later in the article, the mother said that girl was crying and was asking if God still loved her. So this is another example of like the maltreatment of children by religion. So this little girl has been ostracized by her community and kicked out of and her school, and it's just, I feel really bad for her. And I also feel angry that the school is sexualizing her, is what they're doing. She's a little girl.
Yeah, I mean, so one thing that her mom talks about is basically being like, she doesn't even know what that means. Like, she could be saying like, oh, I like this girl, like I admire her. You know, like she's 8. She might not even be gay. She's just trying to express her affection towards someone, you know? And I think it's crazy that they also just went ahead and expelled her 5-year-old brother, too.
What? Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. So this mom has to go find a different school for her children in the middle of this pandemic. They expelled the 5-year-old who has nothing to do with this, presumably because the mom was like, yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
Well, I think that's actually the crux of it, is that the mother is not appropriately upset with this behavior as they are. And the fact that the mother is saying, well, you know, I don't really have a problem with it. I think that's actually the crux of the issue, is that, you know, there's this guilt by association, and there's this sort of like, you know, maybe she's poisoning her children. But I was going to say, I bet they're not refunding all their fees.
Oh,
okay. I have some disagreements with you guys. You know, I don't think it matters if it was sexual or not sexual.
Of course not.
Okay, but let me finish. I mean, I remember when I had sexual feelings for girls as young as 4 or 5. I remember that. And I think, like, yeah, we don't know what her feelings were, but we shouldn't. I don't think we should be like, oh, it's not even sexual. Like, who cares? I mean, maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I do think, like, if we say that if it's not, then we're kind of maybe suggesting that if it was, then it wouldn't be okay. Do you know what I mean? So that's just I don't know, just maybe being picky here.
I see what you're saying. And I think, just to restate my point, I am not saying anything about the little girl's expression, whether it's sexual, non-sexual, whatever. I'm specifically talking about the school citing the sexual immorality clause as a reason to do this, and that they are sexualizing this little girl. and saying that she's sexually immoral.
Right, right.
And
Yeah,
that's what I find reprehensible.
Yeah, so they have very strict rules at this school. So, like I said before, the handbook states that any form of sexual immorality goes against its beliefs, which includes professing to be homosexual or bisexual. It also says that students who do not conform to the standards of and ideals of work and life at the school will forfeit the privilege of attendance. Students are not even allowed to have public displays of affection like hugging and kissing. Even holding hands is prohibited according to the handbook. The grounds for dismissal also include pregnancy, although the student may choose to be placed on homebound to avoid encouraging other students away from, quote, being drawn by bad example to do likewise. And then her mother said, it wasn't a relationship nor a practice, Shelton said after reviewing the handbook. It was just a crush. To an 8-year-old, that could mean anything, that she really enjoys playing with someone on the playground with her. Shelton this is the mother again, admit that she did not expressly read the handbook provided when she first enrolled Chloe. She first registered her 4-year-old daughter into pre-kindergarten, but she could have not possibly known that a few years later, Chloe would have said that she had feelings for another girl. Chloe said that while she felt really sad and betrayed and kind of angry because of what transpired, she was inspired by others' supportive responses. Quote, I feel so loved and supported. Thank you so much to everyone who made me feel better for being who I am, she told KOKH, which is a local station.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that is it okay to be glad that she's out of there, though? Like, I know it's difficult for her mom and all, but this might be, like, opening her eyes to how poisonous and destructive this whole Christian thing is. I don't know.
Honestly, yeah, you're right. It probably is a good thing.
A blessing in disguise, as they would say.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I'm not. Yeah. Okay, we have a cool. Should we go? Do you guys want to add anything else? Before we go to the next place? Oh, here. There's a comment in the. Susanna, do you want to read this?
The foot soldier is saying, my own brother's classmate was scolded for telling her best friend, if you weren't a girl, I'd marry you.
Okay, so people have similar experiences.
Oh, wow. So even just saying, if you were a boy, I would marry you that's not okay. Even saying, like, I'm not going to marry you because you're a girl, but if you weren't, I would. That's not okay either. God.
And also subscribe to our newsletter, because if we get removed from all these platforms, at least we could reach out to you. And guys, by the way, if you subscribe to our newsletter, you get a free copy of Where's your copy, Susanna? Get it. We're doing promotion. You get a free. It's not even promotion. It's free. Okay, so if you subscribe to our newsletter, link in the description, you get a free copy of Why There's No God. Come on, like, I'm handing it out for free. Okay, it's a bestseller on Amazon, and you get it for free. So subscribe to our newsletter, and you get a free copy of Why There's No God sent to you. Link in the description.